Before we get to our annual way too early schedule prediction episode with the ladies of That's What B Said, I want to take a few moments to talk about the Press Play Podcast Network, along with our incredible sports talk lineup, which features Dennis Maniloff, Kenny Rhoda, and Michael Regai with R&R, Sim Amico talking Cavs, and Jeff Thidoff talking fantasy football. We have Up Next to cover all your streaming TV shows and movies, and our newest show, Producing While Asian, which launched during AAPI Heritage Month this May, which highlights Asian American Pacific Islanders and other minorities in the entertainment business. Hosted by Don Mike Mendoza, Producing While Asian features names and stories you need to hear. Without Don Mike to introduce himself and the pod in this quick 2-minute preview.
Hello, everybody. My name is Don Mike Mendoza, and I am your host for the Producing While Asian podcast. This podcast was born out of the blog of the same name, Producing While Asian, that you can read at www.producingwhileasian.com. This podcast was made possible by Press Play Podcasts and comes to you every Wednesday in Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in May, and then every second and fourth Wednesday starting in June of 2021. This podcast will contain conversations with AAPI producers, entertainers, actors, singers, songwriters, and anybody that touches the producing industry. And we get into many of the topics that surround our community within that industry, including stopping Asian hate, representation matters, how producers can make a more equitable and comfortable working environment for those that they hire, as well as the future of the industry as a whole. So we'll dive into those topics and many more on this podcast. And if you, the listener, have anything that you'd like us to talk about that we might not have discussed this season, we invite you to contact us at producingwhileasian@gmail.com. You can also stay up to date on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Producing While Asian. And we also have a YouTube channel of the same name. So we hope you'll watch our video teasers of each episode there, and then tune in here and on any major platform where you can download your favorite podcasts. So again, my name is Don Mike Mendoza, and I'm your host for this season and beyond for Producing While Asian, the podcast. I hope you enjoy.
You can catch this on all of our shows on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, our website, pressplaypodcast.com, and wherever else you listen to pods. In this episode, Jeremy and I are joined by Brittany Mollis, and Meredith of That's What B Said to give you our annual way too early schedule predictions. It's a ton of fun, and we hope you enjoy it. Jim Donovan, take it away.
45-40, run, William, run! He's got blockers in front, 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs! Snap back, ball down, kick block! They block the kick!
This is the Orange is Orange or Browns podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network. I'm your host, Chase Smith, and with me, as always, Browns insider Jeremy Powell. Jeremy, it's been a minute, man. How have you been?
Dude, I've been great. Everything is going great in Brownstown. It is awesome. I'm excited for this episode, something we did last year that we had a ton of fun with, and I cannot wait to get it rolling tonight, bud.
We did. We haven't recorded an episode since the draft. We're going to talk about the draft a little more in detail next week, but right now we have the girls of That's What B Said of Fansided, Meredith, Brittany Mollis, and Bree. Ladies, thanks for joining the show and doing this with us again this year.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello.
We're excited.
Great. So we like we said, we did this last year, this way too early schedule prediction. They released the schedule. We talked about it. We were going to do it before the draft. We said, no, it doesn't make sense. We're going to do it after the draft. Well, hey, they haven't released the schedule yet. So here we are. And I have last year's results, ladies. I want to kind of put it out there because they're fairly interesting. Bree, you weren't with us last year. I don't remember exactly what was going on.
Who knows?
But here we go. From our combined record, we said the Browns would go 11-5. So I think we did a pretty good job. Jeremy also said they would go 11-5. So kudos to you, Jay. Me and Brittany had them at 12-4, which I'd rather air that. Meredith, 7-9. Hey. Meredith.
Wow.
Meredith. Meredith.
That was clearly way too early, though, because when we did our predictions on our show, she was a 10-6. So something moved the needle for her.
I think so. Honestly, I think it was Kevin Stefanski, because this was when we had done this last year. I think it was like right after the Kevin Stefanski hire, and I was so burned by trying to be positive in the gas leak year that I was like, I can't put it out there that I want the Browns to win 12 or 13 games, because what if this happens again? I was so scared. And then I don't know, I think we did ours like a month later, and I credit it all to Kevin Stefanski. He soothed my troubling mind.
Have you seen the man?
Yeah, so 7-9. I think we gave you crap for it in the moment because we were all just still hyped. Like, we haven't learned our lesson. We're all just like all in automatically. But that was last year, and I'm anxious to see kind of how this year goes. How we're going to go.
8-1.
Yeah.
Stop.
How dare you?
How dare you?
I only said that to upset Brittany.
Right. So here's what we did. We took all the games and we divvied them up between the 5 of us. And what we're going to do is spend a few moments talking about each game, the way too early schedule prediction. We're going to keep track of what we say, whether we win or lose. We're going to give our combined prediction record at the end of the episode. And then we're all going to give our personal predictions. Bree has the first game. Bree, what is the first game of the Browns schedule in 2021?
How did I get the first game?
Yeah.
Is this alphabetical order? Is that what happened here? Because this is tough.
I just started with the best, and we're working
because you weren't with us last year. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you know me, I'm positive. Maybe people don't know me. I'm positive. I mean, I would predict I'm going 17-0, like right off the bat. I think there's a lot of doubters out there that think the Browns have no chance, no shot at winning this game. But I'm going to go with there's no pressure on the Browns going into this game at all. I think the pressure is on the Chiefs. And I think they're going to get the monkey off their back and they're going to win their first game since when? 2004?
Yes.
Yeah.
Underdogs.
Against the Ravens.
I like being the underdogs. It's a win. Win for me. 1-0. Let's go.
It's on permanently as a W. Does anyone have them losing this game? I know we have a full house here. I loved what she said. Brittany, you have them losing.
I do. But okay, you'll find out. But like, I don't have them losing many games.
Right.
But this is one that I have them losing, yes.
Yeah. Jeremy, what do you have for this game? We can't see you.
So for what do I have for the first game? I think the Browns are going to win the game too. I think they're going to come out. It's going to be a statement moment for the team early in the season, obviously. But I think just everything is going to, if everything goes smooth in the offseason, I think the Browns are going to win this game too.
Love it. They have the primetime Nance Romo opening the season again with the Browns. The Chiefs, 4:30 on a Sunday, September 12th. Meredith, W. Give us a W for that one.
So I'm going to say a loss for week 1. However, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be like a 3-point type thing. I don't think we're going to see like a Chad Henne getting a 4th down conversion kind of situation. Like that's not going to happen. No, it's going to be close. It's going to be tight. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be tit for tat. But I do think the Browns are probably, I think it's going to be a close loss, like a 3-point loss.
So just really quick, I think we have the potential to be the most healthy all season that week 1 against the Chiefs, who aren't used to the speed that we've brought onto our defense. And I think it might take them a couple quarters to adjust. They got whooped in the Super Bowl, and we've only added our pass rush. I don't know. I see a recipe for a dub, but it doesn't matter what we think. Meredith says W. No, not Meredith. Bree says W. So
listen, also one more point there. Don't underestimate what being a parent does to your brain. So Patrick Mahomes, I'm just saying, like he became a dad after the Super Bowl. You know, like you kind of lose a little bit of your brains.
I don't know. Having kids
speed.
It hasn't affected Andrew Barry, so.
Well, yes, he is an alien. So
his wife literally had a child the first day of the draft, and he still knocked the draft out of the park. So,
yeah, Patrick Mahomes, he might have a dad bod at this point. You know, we don't even know.
That would be amazing. That'd be amazing. All right, Jay. So right now the Browns are 1-0. Second game of the season. Jay, you got it. What's up, man?
Browns Texans. Is there a bigger dumpster fire thin the NFL right now than the Houston Texans? It's going to be the biggest party you've seen in years in Cleveland. It's going to be 73,000 people. Everyone excited to be some level of normalcy, and the Browns are going to absolutely take the Texans behind the woodshed. It's going to be a blowout. The Browns are going to show off all their weapons. It's going to be, I'm looking at a 42-14 party into the night in Cleveland week 2.
You know, I saw a tweet last week, and God forbid I don't credit who tweeted it. I'm so sorry. I don't remember. But the Texans have the oldest average age roster of the NFL. Not
Unbelievable, right?
Did they not have a first round pick? Did they trade into it? I feel like my brain, somebody they traded into the first round. Anyway, they have the oldest average age roster of the NFL. And it's just, I just feel like they can't do anything right now. And I have them as a W as well. That's what B said. W's across the board for the week 2 Texans home opener.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no question.
Big W.
Oh,
Yeah, the Texans are a disaster. There is no way they're going to beat the Browns.
Yep. You guys planning on going?
Yes.
Breezy,
I would
yes.
like to. I was right there. I should, but I haven't even really thought about it yet, which is weird. We'll see.
Jeremy will be there. Meredith, you going?
It's been years since I missed one.
Well, I work for the Browns radio network, so I will be there, but I will be working. So
Love it.
Not going there to have fun or anything. It's all work.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Meredith, week 3, it's you pulled the straw for this one. Bears at Browns.
Okay, this is going to be exciting because I think the Bears are going to come into this week 0-2. They're going to panic. They're going to start Justin Fields, and Myles Garrett is going to sack him into next week, and it's a win.
Love it.
It's a win. It is a win against the Bears.
That's such a solid prediction. I feel like it's already happened. Like I can see it. Like it's not even a prediction.
Listen, like
it sounds so real.
They're gonna be in panic mode by week 3 and say, "Oh my God, Andy Dalton isn't cutting it. He's washed. Let's use our draft pick, Justin Fields. He's on his home turf in Ohio. Let's do it. Let's go." No.
It does worry me though, that first game when a rookie quarterback plays, because there's not a lot of tape on him. So if that is the case, that would be my only fear of that. But it's hard not to think our defense is just amazing. I mean, when you look at on paper, all the moves they've done and like execution of a plan, Brittany's nodding. She's just, it's so hard to not just expect them to be great, Brittany. I mean,
oh yeah, you look at, it's a completely different defense now. And it's the one thing that they absolutely had to improve upon. And not only did he improve it, like he went beyond everyone's expectations and making it better. So if that team was able to win, 11 games last year, imagine, guys.
Can I bring up
imagine.
the worst take that I heard about the Browns defense today?
please.
Someone had the audacity to say that the Browns defense was not going to be good this year because it was too young. And I was like, well, let's look at who the defense is. Myles Garrett, veteran. Denzel Ward, veteran. John Johnson III, veteran. Takk McKinley, veteran. Troy Hill, veteran. Malik McDowell, veteran. I'm just like, what? Like the Browns drafted almost exclusively defense, sure.
Ronnie Harrison,
That's
veteran.
Yeah, that's not going to be the starting defense. Like
Clowney.
Jadeveon Clowney, how could I forget the signing of the offseason? Yeah, so I just like someone actually said he thought the Browns defense was too young today, and I was like, how? Like, do you have the memory of a goldfish?
Was this a caller?
Yes, it was a caller. It was so bad.
I love sports radio callers.
So do I.
They're my favorite
As
people.
my husband hates it, but it is so entertaining.
It is.
They give me heartburn because I'm the one who has to screen it. So think about the ones that you actually hear on the air. That's the best of the best. Like not everybody gets through when they call in.
Meredith, I want your job.
This
like
is
just
a
to do that.
TikTok series waiting to happen. I am telling you.
I know. I think I might get in trouble with work if I did. Like
So I don't
would have
listen-
done this ages ago.
I don't listen to a lot of talk radio. I've called in twice and I've got on twice. One time, my wife and I were leaving a Browns. So this is cool. So after we got married, we spent a week in Cancun for a honeymoon, and then we came back to Cleveland and went to like a Thursday night Browns Steelers. It was the game that it was Brady Quinn. Josh Cribbs was like the Wildcat quarterback, and it was freezing, and we won. We were at that game, and I was so pumped. I called on the way home, and I got in, and I was so shocked that I got through. I don't even remember my questions, probably incoherent. And then I called Maniloff, I think after the we beat the Steelers this year and got into D-Man's show. Jeremy, you've been on quite a bit, huh?
For about a decade of my life, I was probably on, I don't know, 1,000 times. I used to call. I mean, I don't know if you guys know. I used to fight with Adam the Bull like crazy.
Oh my
We would
gosh.
literally start screaming at each other on air. One time in the middle of a conversation, he goes, "I bet you don't even believe in global warming." In the middle of a conversation, like we literally, it was fun though. It was fun. It wasn't serious. But yeah, forever. When I called shows when I was like 8 and 9 years old. Probably sounded, moronic, but that's why, that's where my love for radio came. Was I used to just be a caller, and I haven't been for years. I'll do like a spot with D-Man every now and again, but I haven't called a show in a long time.
Well, that's how the legend of JIA was born.
Yeah, that's how it
started.
Yeah.
Confession.
It was fun.
Are you guys ready for my confession time?
Origin stories.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to call into a national Sirius XM sports radio
Which one?
show on my commute. Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
You called it to Chris Russo?
It wasn't Chris Russo.
Okay,
I used to listen to the morning show on my commute, and I would call in, and I would get on all the time because they never had female callers.
Mhm.
So who's this?
Oh my God.
They're on.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
I love
did
it.
call into Chris Russo. He had a fill-in though for the show, and I was on my drive home, and I was really mad. They were talking Cavs. It was I think it may have been 2017, and they were talking Cavs playoffs and all this, and I called in, and I was very heated about the topic of conversation. I literally had to pull my car over so that I could get
That's amazing.
together.
That is amazing. Sirius XM callers are, because I worked at XM for 3 years. They're special.
Well, yeah, some people wait on hold for hours potentially, because there's only so many chances for you for them to take callers. There's very specific blocks. So
yeah.
Do you follow the profile back after this, the Funhouse profile that kind of takes some of the worst moments or the prank calls and puts it all in a compilation? Do you know that?
No, but I need that.
God, that sounds amazing.
I'll tag you in. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Well, hey, don't look now. We are 3-0 going into an away game at the Vikings, and I almost I got this game. I almost said that this would be a loss, but I just don't see Stefanski going back to Minnesota and losing this one. And so I have the Browns going to Minnesota and starting the season 4-0. 4-0 and flying high. Hype has never been higher. Brittany, week 5 away game.
So let me preface this by saying that in my breakdown, I had them losing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
So yes, I have them losing that game just because I feel like not the players are going to be extra amped to go in there and they really want to win for Kevin Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
But there were a few times last year where Kevin Stefanski was just flat out outcoached. And who knows Kevin Stefanski better than everyone who taught him how to be a coach? Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I like those odds, but I have them winning against the Chargers in week 5 as their own kind of redemption game to get back on track. So,
Brittany, I'm glad you said that because there were a couple moments last season where I thought that Stefanski almost outcoached himself and tried to be too cute, and just I was concerned. Jeremy never really gave it any thought. He thought I was being ridiculous, but no, I agree. I thought that there were a couple moments where I was like, why would you make that play call? Or that was a really high risk, high reward moment. I have them. So I flipped. I have them losing to the Chargers in LA. But I think one of those they do drop. Bree, what you got for, I guess, the Vikings and the Chargers?
I say win Vikings, loss Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. There's something
that seems to be the most popular one.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about traveling and being off of your routine and back to back, obviously. So they're bound to lose. We're not going to go 17-0. I would love to go 17-0, but I think they will lose. I think they'll have a couple of letdown games this season. So I think a road trip makes sense.
That game was going to be remarkable. I mean, Mayfield, Herbert, they got two of the youngest, rising quarterback stars in the league. There's going to be a lot of Browns fans in LA. Most of the Chargers games are almost away games anyway. So I do think there's a world where the Browns if they, kind of make it interesting. Meredith, what do you got for the Vikings and the Chargers?
I think Vikings are going to be. I think that's going to be a win. I have a few friends who are diehard Vikings fans, and one of them was texting me the other day, and they still haven't gotten over the fact that Kevin Stefanski coaches for the Browns. Like, it's one of those like scorned lover kind of thing. I don't think the Vikings can beat the Browns. I do think Chargers would probably be a loss. I think that team is a lot better than people are giving them credit for. And especially being in LA, football just doesn't seem to be as big in LA as it is in some of the other cities. I think the Chargers are a lot better than people are giving them credit for. So I do think that that's going to be a loss, or excuse me, a win for the Browns. A loss for the Browns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Man,
it's been a long day.
Kind of like playoff preview matchup. Jeremy, how do you see the Vikings and the Chargers games playing?
I'm going to sound like I'm just stealing your guys' material here, but I have the exact same thing. I think the Browns are going to beat the Vikings. I think that the Vikings, I love the Vikings. Look, I love Justin Jefferson. I love Adam Thielen. But I think the Browns match up well with them. I think they're going to win that game. But that trip to Los Angeles just worries me. And I think Justin Herbert is about to step out and be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. There will be a lot of Browns fans there. But there will be some excitement because there was no fans in that stadium last year. That's a big, beautiful stadium. I think the Chargers are going to get off to a good start as well. So, ironically, I also think that that's the Browns' first loss.
Okay. All right. So the first loss is off the board. It seemed like we all pretty much see that's going to be a challenging game potentially for the Browns. Bree, we're back to the top. Week 6, Cardinals come to town. What do we got for week 6?
All right. So I think week 6 and 7 could be trap games potentially. I hate saying a trap game, but I think one of these games could be a loss to the Browns. And I think I'm going to go with the Cardinals, even though that game is at home in Cleveland. I don't know. I just have a bad feeling at this point in the schedule of just maybe losing a little bit of focus. And this could be one, although I am predicting JJ Watt will not even be playing in this game. So
love it.
I don't think he'll be a factor at all. I think it could just be a matter of a high scoring game that we just can't, we may not have the ball in our hands within the final minutes to win.
And Bree, even if he doesn't play, he probably still not going to make an impact. So
I know, right?
You can't lose with that prediction. It's a win-win. Meredith, what do you got the Cardinals game?
Cardinals. That's a tough one because I always look at the schedule and there's going to be at least one where the Browns should win. But something happens and they lose. Like that was the Jets game last year. That was a game they should have won. They didn't. And I'm looking at
hard to say that about last year. Last year was so weird.
I know.
Especially
I know. And
they're practicing in the parking garage. Like that's so
I know. They had no wide receivers. Wide receivers. Yeah. So
so hard.
Gosh. Yeah. I know. I'm looking at either one of those. I think that the Cardinals are going to be a loss because the Broncos that's a Thursday night game, and Baker Mayfield loves Thursday night games. So,
but
think
also,
about what were the schedule makers thinking though when they put a 4:05? They didn't do us any favors. A 4:05 start on Sunday and then a Thursday night game.
So yeah, it's not great.
They're both
it's not ideal. Yeah, that's just not an ideal situation though.
But you guys are forgetting the fact that the Cardinals embarrassed Baker his rookie year, and I'm sure wants to not only beat them for that, but also he doesn't want to get shut up by Kyler Murray. He doesn't want that to happen.
I have the Browns winning this one.
So do I.
Spoiler alert: I only have the Browns losing one more game this entire season, and it's not any during this stretch. So
I have him losing 2 more, but. I have him winning this game as well. I have him winning the next game Thursday night. Jeremy, did you said that this is the only team you haven't seen in person, right? The Cardinals?
No, the Cardinals. Cardinals are the only team I've never, for whatever reason, last time they were in town, I missed it. I have never seen the Cardinals play live. My team in the NFL, so that'll be fun to get to see them live. It's also my wife's birthday, so maybe I'll take her.
Ooh, hey,
great
there
birthday
you go.
present.
Well, hey, officially. It's a loss because that was Bree's game to call, and she called it a loss. So Right now the Browns are sitting at 4-2, hosting on a really, really short week. The Denver Rodgersless Broncos, Thursday Night Football. Jeremy, this is you. Home game again.
I think that, and I think this is a big victory as well. I think that if they do not get Aaron Rodgers, which they're not going to, I think they'll be starting to look at tank mode. I think they don't. The quarterback of the future is obviously not on that roster. I think this is a big Browns win. Like you said, Baker loves Thursday nights. I think the Browns put up a bunch of points, and it's another party.
Yeah, I don't see really. I think the Broncos defense might be a little more feisty than people remember, but I just think the Browns are. Yeah, I see this as a win. Bree, you said that if either of these games could be a trap game, just kind of like overlooking, maybe looking ahead to either a game before or after that. So would you say they win this if they lose to the Cardinals? Is that kind of where you're at?
Yes, I do. I would say they bounce back on a Thursday, similar to when they came off of the loss in the first game last year, and then they bounced back pretty quickly on the Thursday night. Like, I just can see Stefanski having them ready to win the next one.
Does a short rest bother anybody, Meredith? You concerned about the short rest?
No, I'm not.
It's hard to feel concerned when we won without a coach in the playoffs. Like, it's
exactly.
Like, what?
Yeah.
All right. So that's a win there. Meredith, week 8.
I am so excited that I have this game. It is Halloween, Sunday Scaries versus the Steelers. This is without a doubt going to be a win for the Browns. It might be, and this is going to be my bold prediction. It might be one of the last games we see Ben Roethlisberger. I think he's going to play that game. He's going to get embarrassed. And then I think at some point, not necessarily that week, but within another week or two, I think Mason Rudolph might be coming out for the rest of the season after that.
Let's go. Let's go.
Gosh. That is our first game in the division, and it's home week 8, October 31st. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Spooky season game against the Steelers. I am excited. I'm so excited for that game. I think
Browns are very festive this schedule. We have a very holiday filled schedule, which is a lot of fun. Anyone see a problem with the Steelers in week 8 here? I'm not concerned at all.
I'm not either.
My problem is trick or treat times.
Well, and so if it makes you feel better, Bree, it is a 1:00 game, so it should be finished by trick or treat.
It's little dude's birthday though, so do I bring him for his birthday and let him be subjected to the drunk people at a Browns game?
Absolutely.
It's Halloween.
They're never too young to be surrounded by drunk.
Halloween, you can get his picture with Pumpkinhead and have him sign it.
Oh God!
Halloween.
We'll
He'll be in all his glory on Halloween.
Oh God! You just brought up something. I was in love with this game until right this moment.
You know that. You know darn well.
His time to shine.
Right, exactly. Browns Steelers Halloween. It'll probably be one of the top games. He'll be all over CBS.
Or there'll be so many other Pumpkinheads. It'll be like, "Where's Waldo?" And the real Pumpkinhead won't be on TV.
I might bring I'll bring little dude and put a pumpkin on his head. How about that?
I was about to say. I was going to say, little dude is probably going to want to dress up as Baker Mayfield, right? And then he'd go to the game as Baker.
Yeah, Baker or Odell. That's usually his choice.
To me, that's way cuter. Having a 5-year-old turning 6. Dressed as Baker Mayfield at the Browns game.
Wearing number 6, you're right.
Yeah, that is.
Wait, Meredith, you're saying you don't think it's cute when 40-year-old men dress up with pumpkins on their head and wear shoulder pads and
listen? I'm not.
You don't think that's?
I'm not saying I have a type, but
you got to give it to him, man. He's worked that hustle as far as anybody could ever work it.
Okay, we're gonna work away. We're gonna work away from Pumpkinhead talk just because that was
reeling us back in.
Too much already. All right, so wins across the board. Now listen, I have this next game, week 9 in Cincinnati, and guys, I have us losing that game. I really do. We don't play well in Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's offense is going to be a lot of fun, mainly just Burrow, and they got Chase,
Jamar
right?
Chase. Yep, yeah. Jamar Chase. I don't know. I think we have to lose some football games. It just has to happen. Meredith predicted 7-9 last year. And she's like, never again. Never again.
Listen, I'm usually wrong about so many things. So I think that's what I was subconsciously doing last year, is that I was making a very bad prediction and knowing it was going to be wrong.
I only have us losing 3 games in the season though. but I have us losing 2 games back to back, this game and the next one. But I have us losing this game, and I'm sorry that I don't. It's going on as a loss on the board because it was the one that I picked. Am I alone in this, or does anyone else think that we're going to lose?
I don't think so. I think we're going to win that game.
Okay.
I mean, look, the Bengals still have not really addressed their offensive line, which is their biggest problem. I mean, it's great that they do have a bunch of big, tall weapons at receiver. They got Mixon at running back, but they still have not addressed the offensive line. And if they can't have Burrow running for his life, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they could be, and they are going to be an exciting team, Chase. I think you're right, but I just think the Browns are a more mature team this year, and I think they're going to take care of business there.
I hope so. I don't think so, but I hope so. Anyone else with the loss there, or is it just me? Just me?
I think you're on an island
Just
there.
you, Chase.
Hey, it's okay. I was wondering. I thought we were going to draft an O lineman in the first round. I was just like the only one on earth who thought we were drafting an offensive lineman. So it's okay. I don't mind being on an island. I don't mind being wrong either, and I hope I'm wrong here. All right, Brittany, week 10, the Patriots.
Yeah. So, unlike you, Chase, I think the Browns are going to win this one.
Okay.
So last year I was like, Cam Newton redemption season. Yeah, let's go, Cam. And it just never happened. So you know what I'm not doing this year? Saying Cam Newton redemption season. Done. I'm just going to assume he's going to fail. And then they're going to throw Mac Jones. Is that who they're going to groom?
Yeah.
Okay. No, Browns win.
Okay. All right. Browns win. Bree, Browns win. Bree's giving a thumbs up. Browns win. Meredith, Jeremy, Browns win in New England.
I think so.
I
The
think
Patriots are not the Patriots anymore. I think the Browns can win.
And I'll go off the board a little bit. I think the Browns are going to win, and I think Mac Jones will be starting by then. And I think he's actually going to be a good player, but he's not going to be ready for prime time this year. So I think the Browns win that game. But I think it's going to be. I mean, obviously, anytime you have Bill in a big situation, it's he'll have his team ready to play. But I think the Browns win the game.
Yep, I think that's my only. If Chubb is like, hey, I was humiliated last time we were in New England. A lot of my could be like if these players take it personal that they failed or like did something wrong. So, I think Chubb had those 2 fumbles, really just one of the saddest times. Just like he looked so defeated.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was so just like sad unless he's just like, give me the rock. I'm going to win this game. But it doesn't matter what I think. B Mills with a dub. So it's a dub on the board. Bree, back at the top, week 11. Here we go.
Week 11. This is Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a win.
Yes.
This would be a disastrous loss. Okay, so let's just get that out there. Like this is 100% a win. Nobody better be picking a loss here.
No.
Okay.
We get back on track after 2 games skid with the dub here.
Because are the Lions tanking at this point? Like, what are they doing with Goff? Like,
The Lions
they're not
have been
helping. They're
tanking
not
for like 5
helping him.
years.
What are they doing?
The Lions they're the Browns now.
Yeah,
the Lions are the Browns.
yeah.
No, but you can't really tell their plan. You don't really know what they're doing. They're making head scratching moves. The Lions are the new, bottom feeder of the league until they're not.
Well, you
So I
guys
just
can
think
tell
Browns win
Dan
that
Campbell
game.
that. I will not tell Coach Campbell
Yeah.
that because that man is
He's a
terrifying.
scary dude. He's a scary dude.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
So I don't know who are the new Browns. The Eagles?
I do think it's the Lions until they're not. Until they prove that.
I mean, it
they're not
might be the
Browns.
Texans too.
The Texans are
Ooh,
worse.
yeah.
The Texans are worse. That's
Yeah.
a heaping. Yeah.
Well, because the Texans also have a
Keeping
ton
them
of off the field issues with
No, I
Deshaun
think
Watson. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a Texans loss might be a worse loss than the Lions. I don't know.
I don't think you have to worry about either.
I don't either. All right, it's going down as a dub. Everyone has it as a dub. Jeremy, Sunday Night Football, Week 12.
So this is Browns at Ravens Sunday night, the first of the weird schedule quirk where we play them back-to-back games. You know me, I love Lamar Jackson. Chase is a Lamar Jackson hater, has been for many years. I love Lamar. I think the Browns lose this game. I think the Browns go in there. I think it's for the division lead, it's a huge game. But I think the Ravens in Baltimore in a packed house, crazy stadium win that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Sorry,
going to
guys.
be a marquee game. It is the marquee game. It's got to be the game of the week. I have us I don't have us losing another game, so that's just where we're at there. Meredith, what do you got?
So for week 12 or for week 14?
Week 12. Sorry. Yeah. Week 12. We're still, this is a big game.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cause we've got the Ravens in week 14 as well.
Mhm.
I think the Browns are going to split with the Ravens this year. And I think the game that they're going to lose is going to be that Sunday night one. And then I think after having a bye week, a rest week with the Ravens going to Pittsburgh and then having to play the Browns again, I think that following week, that week 14, that's going to be the win for the Browns. So I think they're going to split with the Ravens. I think they're going to lose the Sunday night, but then win the one after the bye week.
Gotcha. Brittany, agree, disagree? Ravens 12 by 14. Where are we at here?
So for week 12, I do have the Browns losing to the Ravens. And you know what? I just think the Browns and Ravens are going to split the season for like the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Like it's just going to be, one way or the other. As long as Lamar Jackson doesn't miss, doesn't lose a step, Baker stays healthy, like those two are just going to be battling for the next, 4 years or so. But yeah, this is the last loss I have the Browns down for.
Okay.
Is this one. So
what incredible football to watch. These quarterbacks go at it, and these teams, different styles, different. I mean, just, oh my gosh, if that Monday night is any consolation as to what's in store over the next.
Oh, that was honestly one of my favorite. And I know the Browns lost, but like I didn't even care. Like I felt so good about that game afterwards.
We had never lost a game like that before, or in a long time. I mean, it was just, it was crazy. Bree, how do you see us playing these Ravens by Ravens weeks here?
I also have splits. I think that's the most common answer, right? Like we're probably going to lose one of them. I agree. Like I think this is going to be the Browns' new rivalry. I think the Steelers are done for, and it's all about the Ravens and that battle. And then eventually, in a few years, potentially the Bengals too.
Gosh, I just love hearing that the Steelers are done. It
relevant.
is just
They're
so
relevant.
just like common. It's the best.
But like it's so funny because their fans think that they're legit contenders. It's hilarious, the delusion.
Did you?
They are.
You guys see that PFF thing today, or it was like the 10,000 simulations? So they did 10,000 simulations for the AFC North, and of the 10,000 simulations, the Steelers were in last place in the AFC North, the most amount behind the Bengals.
So happy,
beautiful.
So
loved it.
So I think the
sorry.
Steelers they should be tanking mode, but they are in denial mode, and they have shown that by bringing Ben Roethlisberger back. I think they're trying to delay the tanking years, but they should be in a tanking year this year, and I think they're just in denial.
Which
I think that's a case of Rooney stepping in because he's kind of a loyal guy, and he's been the to show his loyalty to Ben. But you're right. I think it set him back a year. I think that, and you're right. The Steelers fans are delusional, and for good measure, they've been good for 20 years, right? Eventually, it was going to come to an end, and it's there now. But they should have done themselves a favor and just moved on from Ben and started now. But good for us that they're setting themselves back a year in this process.
We're talking about delusional fans. We're talking about bad quarterback play, drafting running backs in the first round. I have to ask, are the Steelers the new Browns? Like I have to ask that.
I feel like we need to put the kibosh on the quote unquote new Browns. Because here's the thing. Kevin Stefanski, Baker Mayfield, all of them, they've completely forgotten the old Browns. I think we should too. They're in the past. We are in the Kevin Stefanski era, and hopefully we will be here for a very long time.
Agreed. All right. So Jeremy, it's going down as an L week 12. Meredith going down as a W for week 14. I have us winning both of those.
Ooh,
I think we go on a 2-game skid, teams we should beat, and then the Lions just kind of into gear, and then it's just overdrive the rest of the season. So that brings us to a to be determined scheduled game against the Raiders at Browns. I have us winning that one. Hopefully there's not a windy hurricane, sleet storm again, or whatever was going on last time.
Those 3 weeks in a row last year, just insane weather. Made no sense.
Yep. I don't think the Raiders are going to be good for any amount of time in the future. And I think it's going to be rough going for the Raiders. Browns win. And we got a couple more games left here. Any other thoughts on the Raiders?
No.
Okay.
Just literally none of last year.
No, right.
They'll be in a different city by next year anyway. It's okay.
Ooh. All right. So
was that too soon? Was that too mean?
No.
I want to just hopefully before they move, I get to get in the bottle service in the back of the stadium in the club. You see the Raiders with the club and the bottle service behind. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, you can pay like 5 times extra for your bottle of vodka.
Bottle service in the club.
Wow.
You mean Grey Goose bottles don't cost $500 normally?
No,
that was the price.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, when you said 5 times as much, I was like, oh, so it's going to be a $5,000 bottle instead of a $1,000 bottle. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know what expensive things are because I don't buy expensive things, so I don't know what they're supposed to cost.
Right, and you're obviously smart. So there you go.
All right, one of the most intriguing games on the schedule, Brittany, Christmas Day, Week 16 against the Packers. What is this? What is going on? What do you have us? What's going to happen?
How wonderful is it that we get to watch this on Christmas Day?
Oh my gosh.
And we don't have to,
I will let you know how wonderful it is after
the NBA games. Oh, are you going?
No, it's just. Are
you going to be in a bad mood?
Like, you're going.
No, he said he'll let you know after the outcome of that game.
Guys, I already said my last loss was against the Ravens. I have the Browns winning this game. Even if Aaron Rodgers is there, I still think the Browns are going to win this game at Lambeau. I just have a feeling. And sometimes when I get feelings, there's a reason for it. Like, the girls can vouch for me here.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I get feelings and like they're usually right. So I feel like the Browns are going to win this game.
Love it. I have
Let me say 2 things.
Too. Yeah. Jeremy.
2 things. One, that could be 10 below and 15 inches of snow. Something you have to take into account. The other thing was that I was a little disappointed. I love the Christmas Day thing. I think it's going to be fun. But I've been to Lambeau. I told Hunter I'd take him up there. But obviously Christmas, that's going to be, Grandma might be a little upset if we're not over at her house on Christmas.
Bring Grandma too.
I'm telling you, yeah, really. There is I'm telling you, there is the mystique of that place. I was there, Braylon Edwards rookie year. Braylon Edwards actually had a huge game. We beat the Packers there. Yeah. But the feel of that place, I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to go to Lambeau Field, get the tour, see a game there, it is incredible. Some of the little quirks of that stadium, just a beautiful, cool place and a really environment.
I've heard that Lambeau was sort of overhyped.
Oh, not to me, at least. Not as someone who loves like the history of football. Even when they redid the stadium, they did little stuff like they moved locker rooms, but they ripped up all the old brick on the walkway from where they used to go and laid it back out the other way. So the players are walking across the same brick, that all the legends walked across.
That's cool.
Just a bunch of cool little things. So it wasn't overrated to me. I guess, I'm a junkie, but it's a cool place.
Yeah, Danny's sitting here right now, and he was talking about it the other day, and he's like, I don't understand. It's so overrated. Everyone acts like it's Fenway, and it's just not. So I'm just taking digs.
I gotcha. But
I think Joe Thomas
I loved it.
Pitched in, like someone was crapping on Lambeau, and Joe Thomas, I think, had some rebuttal. I don't remember. I don't know. Bree, what do you think about this game? You awful quiet.
I am quiet. I don't really know how I feel about this one. I was low key, like kind of hoping our schedule would be a little bit like on the down low. Mm-hmm. And here we are on Christmas Day, with the entire country tuning in. I think Aaron Rodgers at this point, if he's still there, could be just the diva that he is and over everything and completely checked out at this point, depending on how their season goes, that the Browns have a very good chance of going in and winning. But on the flip side, I could also see this being like a weird weather game and the holidays and it being just not our day. So I don't know. I think right now I only have them losing 2 games. And I think overall I was going to have them losing more. So I got to go with a loss here because I got to catch myself back up to what I think is going to happen.
Let's talk about this. Do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing for the Packers next year? Meredith, you might be the most like professionally connected of us here. Like, what do you think?
So the last few games for the Browns season and the way too early predictions, I have caveats on all of them. If Aaron Rodgers is playing on Christmas Day against the Browns, it is going to be a win for the Browns because Rodgers is going to want to stick it to the organization because at that point he's like, why am I not out yet? I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be with the Packers next year because, he can't up and leave. Like they have to trade him and they don't want to, and they refuse. And so I think they are going to keep him there. Like I expect Aaron Rodgers at the very least week 1 with the Packers. I don't know what later in the season is going to look like. Like I think if Rodgers is on the bench or just done, checked out, they've got a different quarterback starting on Christmas Day, that could potentially be a loss for the Browns. But I think if Aaron Rodgers is playing that day, like I think he's gonna like be in like the give no F's like mindset.
And also if you're the Packers right now, you can't get equal value for him, because if you trade him somewhere, that team's going to be good. So the pick you get, if you get a pick at this point, it's going to be at the bottom end of the draft. I think that they should just go, on hands and knees. Aaron, what can we do to make you happy? We have to make this work. I think they will. And I think that game's going to be majestic. Those end of season games at Lambeau Field are always, it's going to be a majestic snowstorm, beautiful, fun game. All those games, looking back all the years at Lambeau Field towards the end of the year in the snow on national TV, I think it's going to be one for the ages. It's going to be fun.
Why would Aaron Rodgers play?
Because he's 38. And he doesn't have a lot of time left, and they do have a good offense around him. Now you got Devontae Adams, you got your guys back. I think he will play, and I think they'll make it right. I've heard some stories that it is a financial thing. He wants to be the highest paid quarterback for these last few years. If he does, make it happen.
I don't think age is as big of a deal as it once was. I mean, look at what Tom Brady's doing.
There's only been one guy. But that's the only. LeBron James and Tom Brady are the only two to defeat Father Time. They're the only two. No one else has ever done it. Those are two exceptions. Even Drew Brees got caught up with this year.
But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. Like it's not like we know he's not stubborn or unhappy. This isn't the first time he's been what? Right. Who Le'Veon Bell sat out a year, right? For the Steelers. He just like I'm not going to do it. Is that
different?
Is that
thing,
who that
though,
was?
Just a different. Le'Veon Bell did sit out a year, but this is a different thing. I just don't see it happen. I think he'll play, and I think they'll make it worth it for him. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe next week who knows? I
don't think he's going to play. All right. So we have Brittany with the W there. All right. So that's what B said. You guys jointly get to talk about this Monday Night Football game, jointly. Week 17 here.
Oh, who's this? Week 7. I think all of our answers are the same. We did not prepare
right? Jointly.
Well, so
they're frauds.
Yeah.
At the Steelers.
So I think the only way the Steelers win this game, because like I said, I had caveats in every game towards the end of the season. The only way the Steelers win is if the Browns have already clinched the playoffs and they're sitting their starters.
Ah, look at you. Smart.
So I mean, I'm looking at that week and I'm like, that could be a loss, but it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a bad thing because it, would be Baker resting, be Myles Garrett resting. It would be, OBJ, hopefully Jarvis, everyone resting. We're going to put Anthony Schwartz in there, see what he can do. And then if they lose, they lose. It's not going to be a big deal because they'll have clinched the playoffs by then.
Plot
Isn't
twist.
It possible,
our backups
though?
Beat the Steelers.
Yes, exactly. I was like, there we go. Isn't it possible that the backups are good enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But like I'm saying, I'm like, it's an outside shot, but I think that in that game is if it's the Browns backups.
That's a good call.
And even if it is the Browns backups, it still might be a win for the Browns.
Love it. All right. So that's what B said. What is the official week 17 way too early prediction?
W.
No matter what.
The W. Does that give us the division? You guys say, hey, we're taking the AFC North this year.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think it does.
We the North?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the only divisional game the Browns are going to lose is one against the Ravens. Yes. I think they're going to sweep the Steelers, sweep the Bengals, split with the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree.
Love it. All right, Jay, the orange is orange. We get week 18 here. We're hosting the Bengals. Revenge game from our loss earlier.
which ironically, I think I don't know if I told you this show, but I had this as a loss for what they just said. We have clinched everything and the Browns arrest everybody and we're getting ready to go into the playoffs. Well, so I had this as our fourth loss.
Do you think that the coaching staff would rest players? Is that like part of the analytics? Do you think they would say, hey, like
I guarantee it is. I guarantee it. If it doesn't matter positioning, right? Because only one team gets a bye, right? With the new playoff settings. So I'm sure there's a whole lot of factors that go into how they would analyze this analytically. But if it doesn't change our standing one way or another, I would assure you that they would rest guys.
And they haven't done any study. I mean, not that we know what the advanced analytics are, but like the stats on teams at rest and how they don't play well. And like,
well, knowing these guys, they know all that and they have all the angles, but it just seems like it'd be, if no matter what, we're the 2 seed and we can't improve to the 1 seed, then there's almost no reason to risk a guy getting hurt, I would think.
okay. Well, Jay, since I had us losing to them in week 9, let's do a W here and we'll just say, hey, that was that. Is that
there?
fine?
You go. That's fine.
All right. So
good.
here we go. 18-week NFL season, the first time ever. We have a combined record of 13-4.
Wow. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound. I mean, it's very, very lofty. I mean, that's.
No, incredibly. No, but that's the thing, Chase. That's the thing. Incredibly, it's not that lofty. Like, I think that it's a semi-tough schedule, but I think the way it sets up well for us, where the games are, how they fall. So as crazy as it sounds, it's not crazy to say that we could be 13-4.
Also, I believe Vegas has the over/under for the Browns at 10. And I expect the Browns to go over. So, if Vegas has the win total at 10, it's not out of the realm of possibility to see 12 to 13 wins.
So juicy. I put money tonight on the Wiz to beat the Celtics. It was just too enticing.
Oh my God.
to not do that. And I had not heard the over under for the Browns yet. And I wish I hadn't been known that information. So, all right. So Bree, what is your,
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I make my own decisions. Bree, what is your way too early schedule prediction?
So I originally was coming in here thinking 12-5. I think we'll have obviously the split with the Ravens that we identified. I think we'll have probably a letdown game here or there on the schedule, and then potentially those end of the season games where we could potentially lose based on starters not playing or whatever. Although I think we're at the point now that we've talked about where our backups probably are better than some actual NFL teams, which is amazing. We've arrived.
Love it. 12 would still be a successful season. I don't see a 12-5 season as a failure or a step back. That's playoffs, right? Bree, you're saying playoffs.
Playoffs for sure.
Yeah. Jeremy, what's your way too early prediction?
Just what I came and saying, 13-4. I think the Browns step up and take over the mantle as the kings of the AFC North, that we're going to go on a nice 5-6 year run here. We're always relevant, always good. And it starts week 1 against Kansas City.
Meredith, what do you got? 7-9, 7-10.
Going through, I actually didn't count it up. I think I see 5 losses on the schedule. So I'm going to say 12-5.
Okay. All right. 12-5. I'm putting this down. This is going in the unofficial Oranges Orange archives.
So you can get it me again next year. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally cool.
I have us at 14-3. And I believe, Brittany, you're at 14-3 as well. Is that right?
Yes, I am. See, great minds.
Yes. We had the same prediction last year.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. So, all right, let me do Brittany, 14-3. I don't think the Browns have ever had a 14. Have they ever had a 12-win season? I don't have Jeremy.
Well, they have had since they expanded to 16 games. No, I don't think they have went 12-4. It was 11. They might've went 12-4 once, but that's the best. 12 wins is the most wins in the regular season for the Browns.
I think Baker's going to go down as the greatest Browns quarterback of all time. I'm just going to throw that out there. I think he's going to own all the records. Anyway, I think this team, this era of Browns is just, there is no ceiling. There is no cap of what this team can't do. Our window for the Super Bowl is now. This is our time.
Yes.
Bree. I completely agree.
We gave record predictions way too early. What do you deep down believe, the Browns, what damage we're going to do in the playoffs? Let's get it out there.
I mean, I'm just going to say the Super Bowl, and we're going to beat the Chiefs again. We're going to beat them twice. I said it.
I love it. Litmus test for a successful season is AFC Championship game. Yes. That's where we got to be, or else we didn't meet expectations.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I know it sounds wild, but it truly feels like Andrew Berry went into this offseason and draft saying, listen, we got this far last year with this team with a defense that was extremely challenging throughout the entire season. And we surprised everyone amidst an entire year of COVID and dealing with all of that as well. No normal offseason cadence. I truly think he believes that the Super Bowl window is within the next year or so. Like, it could be this year, it could be next year, it could be the following year, but I think the time is now. So for me, it's Super Bowl or bust. But yes, AFC Championship, I would love to see the Browns get there. I'd love to go against the Chiefs and knock them out. And I'm just sick of hearing about them. Like, I think the Browns have the capability with the defense, if everyone stays healthy, knock on wood. But I think the defense could be the determining factor of how far the Browns go.
I don't
absolutely
think the Chiefs are going to get there. But Meredith, are you AFC Championship game or bust? I mean, is that just like the bar of where we have to be for it to be like all right, this is where we need to be? Are we thinking AFC Championship game? Is that
so I think the Browns have to make it at least as far this year as they did last year for just, for the break even. And then, to consider it a successful season is to make it farther. So, yeah.
Brittany, who are you more concerned about, the Chiefs or the Bills?
Oh, the Chiefs. Now, it's no disrespect to Josh Allen. I'm just not completely sold on him yet. And maybe I will be this year. And it's not that he's not good, but I hear people say, I saw it a couple weeks ago, he's the most athletic quarterback to ever play in the NFL. And I'm just like, this can't be real. People are really saying this kind of stuff. So anytime someone, when a quarterback's built up like that, I tend to be like, all right, let's pump the brakes a little bit. So Patrick Mahomes has proven himself year after year. I'm more concerned about the Chiefs than the Bills. I'm more concerned about the Ravens than the Bills.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Jeremy, are you concerned about the Bills?
Yeah, I'm concerned about the Bills, but I think the Browns have leapfrogged them. Now we have to see how the defense comes together on the field, obviously, but I have, the utmost confidence in Andrew Berry's ability to build a team and the coach's ability to make it work on the field. So we do have to see that, but I agree. I think it's AFC Championship or it's a failure. Not a failure, but it's a disappointment. Yeah. If it's not AFC Championship, I think it's a disappointment.
Here's my defense for the Bills. I think they have a better defense than Kansas City. I think they have a better offensive line than Kansas City. I think they have a better coach than Kansas City. And
you're going to disrespect Andy Reid like that?
You lost me on the coach.
Really?
I like both coaches, but look, Andy Reid has won everywhere. He didn't get over the hump until he got to KC, but I think he's a really good, well-respected coach. Just my opinion.
Well, regardless of where we stand, the Browns are in the lead of the AFC, and that is a true statement where you look across the board, they are respected, they are feared, and by God, they're going to win some football games this year. That's what B said. Thank you so much for coming on the pod and doing a way too early schedule predictions. A ton of fun, and I can't wait to kind of see what happens.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. That wraps it up for this very special episode of The Orange is Oranger. Thank you so much for downloading and listening. Shouts to the Press Play Podcast Network for making this possible. Visit pressplaypodcast.com for sponsorship info and to see how you can host a show on our network. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Orange is Oranger. Still trying to reach 5,000 followers. Help us out, would you? We've only been asking for about a year. It's okay. We'll stop asking. And shouts to our very special guest. That's what B said. You guys are awesome. Killing it. Jeremy, any final thoughts, brother?
Here we go, brownies, baby.